cauliflower, and perhaps even potatoes. So when we eat food which is not offered to Krishna, which is not in the consciousness of utilizing that energy in Krishna's service, then naturally the consciousness is to try to control that object and enjoy it. And the more one tries to imagine that one is the controller of the material energy, then the more one is trying to take Krishna's place. And the more one tries to enjoy the material energy, the more one is trying to take Krishna's place. Unfortunately, the material energy does not allow that. First of all, it's not possible to take Krishna's place because the soul, as explained in the Bhagavad Gita, is not the controller of the material nature, nor can it actually enjoy the material nature in the sense that the material nature is not actually really enjoyable. There may be some enjoyment in material life, but it's not, it's like trying to enjoy sweet rice. And at the same, instead of adding sugar, you put sand in the sweet rice. There's some happiness in taking sweet rice with sand, but it's not very much. Alguna felicidad en tomar arroz dulce con arena, pero no es mucho. Actual happiness is pure sweet rice. Arroz dulce puro, sin mezcla de otras cosas. So we ourselves are spiritual beings, and we have spiritual senses. And when our senses are pure, then there's only happiness. And when our senses are not pure, when they're contaminated by lust or anger or greed, when they're covered, then it's like trying to enjoy the Sunday feast with a glove on your tongue. Guante, guante. Sobre la lengua. It's impossible to actually get full enjoyment that way. When we're not conscious of Krishna, then Maya covers us. In other words, when the soul wants to serve Krishna, then the material nature steps aside. Se vuelve apartado, al lado. And when the soul forgets Krishna, then Maya comes and arrests us. Y detenernos. Ponernos en el cárcel. Arresta, detener. Because we're criminals. If you go to a store and you take whatever's in the store without paying for it, then the police will come and arrest you. So it's a little hard to accept that everything here is God's. We like to think that, yes, Krishna has his kingdom, He has his gopis, he has his Chintamani palaces, and I have my gopis and I have my house. Krishna may be a little bigger than I am, but we're associates. I do a little service for him, and he gives some service to me. And the material, when I'm a devotee, I have tilak, and I have a sari, or I have a dhoti on. Then whatever I do is spiritual. Then Krishna is so kind, he gives me some of his material nature to enjoy. And therefore, whether I remember Krishna or not, at the time of death, I just show the Yamadutas my dhoti. Monstrare las Yamadutas mi dhoti, oh sorry. The Yamadutas fold their hands and say, oh, sorry. No, the Yamadutas come if we're not Krishna conscious. And if we don't accept that everything here belongs to Krishna, maybe the Yamadutas won't come. Maybe Indra will come and we'll go to Indra Loka. But there we have to accept old age, disease, and death also. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Nasti buddhya yuktasya, na cha yuktasya bhavanaha, na cha bhavyantak shantir, ashantasya kutak sukham. That for one who's not in Krishna consciousness, they can have neither controlled mind nor steady intelligence, without which there's no possibility of peace. And how can there be any possibility of happiness without peace? In other words, Krishna consciousness is so nice that even if we're not perfectly Krishna conscious, it's the best lifestyle. We have the best food, we dance the best, well, almost the best. We have the best philosophy, but still our happiness is not perfect. Because as soon as we forget Krishna, we're in Maya. And estamos in Maya. And as soon as we're in Maya, we're suffering. Why are we suffering? Because we think we're this body. And as soon as we think we're this body, then we think we have to die. And if one is going to die, how can we be happy? Just to think we're going to die is quite disturbing. I use that famous example that someone is traveling on an airplane. That we give everyone a free ticket to fly to Mayapur for Corporni. Boleta gratuito. Mayapur. Who would like a free ticket to go to Mayapur? Luckily, Abhimanyu's here. And actually, he's quite rich, but he doesn't want to show it. Or maybe Ananda Varna can help him. So after the class, you can ask them for the free ticket. If you can find them. So just imagine we're flying to India for Gaur Pranim. And the pilot makes an announcement. Pilota. Welcome to Air Hare Krishna. We hope you enjoy the flight. We have a fantastic meal we're going to serve. Comida for este festival. 15 preparations. 15. Si quiere. Narayani añadirá un poco más. She'll add a few more. So there'll be curd sabjis. There'll be halava, sweet rice, pizza, and ice cream. And we hope the lasagna makes it. Lasagna is... So please enjoy the flight. We have one movie we'll show also. It's called the Hare Krishna in Mayapur, eating prasadam on Gaur Pranim. And you can see by the quantity that they eat that the Hare Krishna movement, devotees in the Hare Krishna movement, defy the laws of nature. Los devotos en el movimiento de Hare Krishna desfiar las leyes de la naturaleza. Porque su estómago es tan grande. Their stomachs are so big, but the amount of prasadam that they eat is 10 times more. So we hope you enjoyed the flight. We only have one more announcement. My co-pilot says, that that Abhimanyu and Anandavarna only put in half the amount of fuel necessary to reach Mayapur. So we're scheduled to crash into the ocean in half an hour. And probably all be killed. But don't worry. Don't worry, because we have expert servers on board. And they should be able to serve probably the entire prasadam in a half an hour. So please enjoy your meal. And maybe it probably will be your last. And also, although the movie is 1 hour, don't worry, because we'll be able to show at least half the movie. And if you pray to Krishna, he'll probably let you come back and see the other half. So please enjoy your meal and the movie. The pilot, myself, and the co-pilot were jumping out of the airplane in a parachute. So we wish you well. Hope to see you in your next life. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So that's material life. Everyone is flying high, especially in Malaga. Sun, beach, prasadam. Need a little bit more water, but that's all right. No, agua. Necesitamos agua más de agua. But anyhow, there's some. No, anyhow, whatever. But eventually, however high we're flying, eventually we crash. Now, where we're going next, that depends upon not what ticket we bought. No. Nuestro destino próximo no es exactamente el boleto que hemos comprado. That will depend upon the laws of nature. Now, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that if one practices Krishna consciousness, then more or less that's an eternal benefit. And that even we're not completely successful in this lifetime, that we'll have an opportunity in the future to practice Krishna consciousness until we finally become completely conscious of Krishna. But why should we waste our time? One should try to become as serious as possible so that that seriousness can lead us towards the goal. And that even if we don't make perfection this lifetime, that seriousness will propel us to become perfect in some future lifetime. En alguna vida siguiente. Therefore, Prabhupada stressed that our process is quite simple. Especially, Prabhupada gave us a program. Whether we live in the temple or outside the temple, Krishna is everywhere. And Maya is everywhere also. So we should make our house into a temple. When we don't come, Prabhupada, for instance, there has given us the 5 powerful processes every day to perform in the temple. Or in our house. Or even on the beach. Incluso on the playa, sí, por supuesto. When Prabhupada one time Prabhupada asked me to open a temple somewhere. He wrote to my temple president that I should go and open a temple. So my temple president sent me to Miami. Specifically to Coconut Grove, Florida. Specificamente. Esta ciudad se llama Coconut Grove in Florida. And when I arrived, there were 5 sannyasis there. This is in 1970. At the end of 1970. Unfortunately, there was no temple there. And 4 of the sannyasis left the next day. And I was with one sannyasi and his assistant. And we were living in the local park. And the only thing I had was one dhoti and a sleeping bag. Maybe I had 2 dhotis, I can't remember. And a toothbrush. But every day we had our program. We woke up, shook out the sleeping bag, all the dust, bathed in the park sink, and el grifo de parque. We chanted our rounds, had a little mangalarti, and every day we had our program. It was a little austere. Especially, I remember one time there was a hurricane. It was very austere. Prasadam wasn't very opulent. We spent the morning cooking chapatis on the park grill. Estado? What's the word for grill? Asado? Asadora. And the sannyasi made some apple chutney. And we put the apple chutney in a chapati. And we have a little kirtan. And the hippies would come and gather around. And then we'd hand out to the hippies the chapatis with the apple chutney. And the sannyasi, who was in charge, he allowed us to at the end of handing out all the chapatis with the apple chutney, we were allowed to have for our whole day meal 2 chapatis. Dos. And when we were done with the 2 chapatis, we could go into the park and see if the hippies left any remnants. So we had no problem about gaining weight. Ganar peso. Ganar peso. In any case, we followed the program every day. And after that, we went on book distribution. So it's possible anywhere. Krishna. So in our house, if every day there are 5 powerful processes, we chant Hare Krishna. It could be with our family or even by ourselves. do some worship of the deities, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Try to make the atmosphere spiritual by having the house clean and neat. A little place for the picture of Panchatattva or for the deities, Gaura-Nitai. And we can serve the devotees. Someone chants and we listen to them and appreciate them. And then we chant and they appreciate our chanting. I'll go. Estamos escuchando cuando alguien canta y cuando otra persona, cuando estamos cantando, la otra persona está escuchando. And that way we're helping each other, we're serving each other. And that way we advance in Krishna consciousness. Until one day we'll do the same thing in the spiritual world. So simple process, we just have to perform it. And if have the opportunity, we can tell others about Krishna. That will also help make the atmosphere spiritual. So that way our lives will be successful. And other people's lives will also be successful. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yeah.
Tengo una curiosidad. ¿Es cierto que con devotos que nosotros ahora comunicamos nos vamos a encontrarse ahí en el mundo espiritual?
It's true that the devotees we have around right now, we will meet in the spiritual world.
Do you want to?
Que si quieres hacerlo, si quieres encontrarte con él.
Por eso pregunto.
That's why she's asking.
Luckily, the spiritual world is quite big.
El mundo espiritual es muy grande.
You see someone you don't like or you didn't like, you can go to a place they'll never find you. Krishna is very kind. But actually, in the spiritual world, we'll like everyone. Prabhupada once said, he was talking to one devotee, actually a sannyasi, and he said that Siddha Swarupananda, he's going to go to the spiritual world. A devotee will go to the. He said also you'll go to the spiritual world. And also Brahmananda, he'll go to the spiritual world. He said we'll all go to the spiritual world. Not only Siddha Swarupananda, but all of us will go to the spiritual world. He said there'll be another ISKCON in the spiritual world. Anything else? Yes, Vino.
How Krishna is worshipped in the spiritual world?
Principally by the devotees taking prasadam and chanting Hare Krishna. And some of them are sewing garlands for Krishna. Some of them addressing Krishna. some of the dancing for Krishna. Same thing we do here. See?
In the houses, there are also altars and everything.
Yes. Nanda Maharaj, he has his deity of Narayan.
Nanda Maharaj tiene su deidad de Narayan.
So even if you like Narayan, you can go to Nanda Maharaj's house and do arti there. He's always serving Narayan, praying to Narayan that he'll protect Krishna. Mother Jasoda sometimes tells Krishna, when Krishna is going to the forest with his cowherd boys and the cows, see if there's some problem in the forest, that you should pray to Narayan and he'll save you. So Krishna slightly smiles when he hears that. Agamas, anything else? Any questions online? No? Okay. Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita. Sounds like Nirguna. Is that Nirguna?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Just and you said it like Greek, but it says each one has a tilak and Mala has some meaning for the like it can really help you to elevate it and
Masamena si alguien tiene kuntimala y tilak, quizás cuando los llamaduras vienen para sacarte, no tomará con tanta fuerza, dará un poco de respeto. No, this will help us remember Krishna. But it's our consciousness at the time of death that determines where we're going. Not what we're wearing. What we're wearing is simply a help to help us remember Krishna. Lo que estamos adornando es simplemente una ayuda para ayudarnos a recordar a Krishna. Prabhupada gives an example. One man thought that if I smear stool all over my body, that at the time of death, the Yamadutas won't come and take me away. He was wrong. I think they bathed him first and then they took him away. Yes. Well, I think we'll stop here. Prandaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kor Premanande.